3 to 4 times a week. And in the evening, every evening, the men go out to a 12-step community meeting. This way we incorporate a little bit of clinical, but mostly the 12-step program, so that they're getting a variety of treatment options. The men are very strictly regimented. If they have an appointment, they need to get permission, we need to know where they're going, and we need to know why. But they do get community time, and we think that that's very important, because if they're sheltered here, they're not going to get the experience of going out into the community, where they're going to see people who are on drugs. They're going to meet their drug dealers, and they're going to be walking by liquor stores. So they get desensitized, if you will, to the surroundings or the danger zones in the community, and they're able to come back and talk about what their triggers were and how they handled it and how they may be able to handle it differently next time. All residents are assigned a chore, and they're expected to follow through with that chore. The chores are assigned based on what the residents may be lacking. So for instance, if somebody doesn't know how to cook for themselves, we'll pair them up with another resident who knows how to cook and teach this other resident how he can prepare meals for himself.
My name's Dave. I'm 37 years old. I've resided at 9 North Street since October of 2007. I attended a 6-month treatment program at Hope Acres in Glencairn, Ontario. I've suffered from addiction for spanning the length of 24 years, and before going to Hope Acres, I had the privilege of attending pre-treatment. I had an outreach worker who I first asked for help back in February 2007. She submitted me to detox in Kitchener. I resided at a shelter after that for 3.5 weeks until she could get me into pre-treatment, which lasted 5.5 weeks before I could start treatment. The pre-treatment was out of my city of choice where I resided, Cambridge, which helped me a great deal. If I had not been in another city, I don't think I could have resisted temptation. Pre-treatment had a random screening, as well as screening once a week. They put a strong emphasis on the buddy system, attending meetings, educating us and preparing us for treatment.
In general, in our community, we are accepted with a few exceptions. We do have some homes on our street and in our neighborhood that do look at this house as just a bunch of addicts here. But for the most part, we are generally accepted. And I think that that's a challenge for addicts seeking treatment and seeking help, is that the attitude of many people who don't understand addiction is that addiction is self-inflicted. So if they've caused this by their drinking, they've caused their own problems by their drug use, so let them figure it out on their own. So we do face that once in a while within our own community. But for the most part, in general, we are quite accepted on our street.
The pre-treatment home will have full-time, qualified staff living in the home 24 hours a day. The funding for this home will come, hopefully, through an application to the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, which eventually in the future may flow through LIN 12.
As a recovering alcoholic and participating in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, I've seen people who are seeking treatment, but there's a period of time when we're extremely vulnerable, and we need some kind of external structure to support us in maintaining what we should be doing. A pre-treatment house, I think, would be really valuable in that it maintains a stable, well-structured environment for these people waiting to go into treatment. It's during this period of time that many relapses occur. There's a certain amount of fear going into treatment, and during that time, people are vulnerable to relapse. And if we can kind of support these people at this time, I think the success rate overall would be much higher.
I have worked in actual treatment centers, two other treatment centers out there, and then I've seen a lot of the residents. You know, you hug someone, you handshake someone, and the next week they phone and you get the bad news that they were dead, that they died of a drug overdose, which is very disheartening as a worker in this field. So it's really necessary to have a pre-treatment facility, because it gives everybody a better fighting chance. Because you believe someone just comes out of detox, they do a very quick assessment, and within 4 or 7 days, and that person usually will agree to anything. I'll go to any treatment center you want me to go, because they have that shame, that guilt attached to it. They know they've done something that's not right. You know, they lost their job, their families don't want to talk to them, so they're willing to sign up for anything. So Ozanam House is really important, because what we do is we give them that time, a week when they're in here, for the first week to settle down, and then as a staff, which is that other piece that's very important, as a staff we all get together and see what's best fit treatment for this individual, and that includes the individual as well. So we reassess them here monthly, weekly, whatever that case is. When one staff sees that they might want to go in one direction, we all get together and see what's best fit for that person. So we found out that this actually works, and they have a better chance of going back out in the community and not coming back back to that lifestyle that's very destructive for them.